very short videos, one concerning the GreenMetric ranking, and the other one a very short presentation of our university. So I think that we can start with this, and then the Vice Rector, Professor Cipollone, will welcome you and make an introduction to the meeting.
Okay, thank you very much, Anna. Thank you very much to everybody, the participants. It is with a great pleasure that I can open this meeting as Vice Rector, bringing you the best wishes of the University of L'Aquila, which hosted yesterday the coordination meeting of the GreenMetric Italian Network, and which is hosting today the national conference of the same network. I am really proud to know that the University of L'Aquila had the role of the Italian coordinator of the University of Indonesia GreenMetric World University Ranking Network, after the excellent work made by the University of Bologna in the same role since 2017 year. I am proud also to know that the position of the University of L'Aquila is really high in this ranking. So the attention, the sensitivity that the university reserve to the sustainability aspects and to the sustainability behavior. I apologize to be only online this morning instead of paying in presence, but previous engagements prevented me to be present, and also prevented the presence of the director, Professor Eduardo Aressa. I thank Professor Anna Tozzi for having organized this meeting, this event, and also the foreign professor Tommy Elias and Professor Luigi Arrani for the agreement to be here and answer the questions that will come from us. Let me present briefly to the university that I possess, the University of L'Aquila, the city in which you are. L'Aquila is today a beautiful city. It is a geological city with medieval architecture was origin go back in time to several centuries. The citizens of the University of L'Aquila were among the few resistant to the measures and to other war aspects. L'Aquila were among the few people which had the ability not to, let's say, keep for a long time the tradition and the so I think like a country that was never completely occupied, avoiding to modify its tradition. Mountain people, we could say, so and resistant. Unfortunately, as probably you know, recently L'Aquila had a famous earthquake in 2009, which hit it 14 years ago. The city was seriously damaged, and today you can still see part of the city which are under restoring, while the villages around the city are still waiting for more important actions. Anyway, the city is ready to receive all the cultural stimulus of the sciences inside the sustainability concept. And in its three cultural dimensions, as you know, the economical one, the social one, and the ecological one. All these three complex cultural environments are deeply present in the training activity that we do to students, as well as in the research domains and competences. We reverse toward private companies and entities also this knowledge, trying to help these institutions to move in the direction of the sustainability. The University of L'Aquila was founded in the 15th century, and now it is among the most ancient universities in Italy. At that time, as we know, university was a quite different thing, but today, anyway, that was a cenacle centuries ago, is a beautiful university and environment that today we deeply live. We have 7 departments for having an engineering and scientific nation. We have medicine, surgery, engineering, environmental, information, computer sciences. Let me say most of all the cultures that today have an importance and which are strictly related to the concept of the sustainability. We have almost 20,000 students, and every year we enroll almost 3,000, 4,000 students. 3,000 students at the same time end their studies and reach a master's degrees. So the situation, of course, is steady. The students which enroll are almost equal to the students which leave the university. We have three main sites, one in l'Aquila, human sciences are there, one is on the top of the Monte Lugo hill, the most part of the engineering studies on this hill, and the last one is few kilometers from l'Aquila, with the Coppito place, where all the others training activities I mentioned before take place. We have 69 master degrees offered to the students, and we have a similar number of bachelor degrees. So the first level of the degree after 3 years, and the second one. We have 3 research excellence centers officially recognized at the national level, and we have 4 research centers which links different departments in order to share different knowledges for common goals. And these aspects, for instance, has a great importance for sustaining the concept of the sustainability, in which eco change, sciences, wildlife, cultural heritage, and many of all behavior stay together. We have 500 Erasmus students which exchange among universities in the world. We have also 30 post-laureate programs finalized to specific goals. So I could say, and I am proud to say, that l'Aquila is an excellent university, whose ranking is growing at a national and international level. It is a kind of precious treasure chest of knowledge. We are not so big to live with difficulty, we are not so small to do not have visibility and recognition. We are right, we would say we are right. With these numbers, we prepare to participate in the most important challenges of the society. I already mentioned it: climate change, energy transition, ecological transition, artificial intelligence, big data management, food and water quality, territory management, safety, cultural heritage, conservation, healthcare, elders assistance, and main of all, behavior of people which lives together. We strongly trust into wider cooperation among universities, which links technology, society, science, and human living. On the behalf of the University of l'Aquila, I wish a proficient activity on this meeting. Have a nice meeting and find also some time to enjoy the city. Thank you very much for your presence.
Thank you. Okay, now our general manager will welcome you.
Okay. Take a short time. I want to say that in last decades, universities have become increasingly more engaged in civic society, mainly in the areas where higher education institutions have built relationships with local stakeholders.
Okay.
I repeat for our...
Yes.
In the last decades, universities have become increasingly more engaged in civic society, mainly in the areas where higher education institutions have built relationship with local stakeholders and worked on co-creation activities to achieve sustainable development objectives. So, our university can play a key role in combating climate change, developing innovations, and acting as a model for the society. We are the university of a small town which is rebuilding itself, so we can give more than any other. So we are very proud and happy to collaborate with you to achieve this kind of goal. And have a good meeting.
Thank you. Thank you. And now probably we can show the videos.
Anna I have to leave now. So thanks again for the extended talk. Thank you very much.
Abbiamo un secondo video sempre di GreenMetric.
Sì.
cresceremo tanto.
So good morning. So we continue now with the video profile of the University of L'Aquila, who is the new national coordinator from this year of the GreenMetric network in Italy.
Ti aggiungo con 2 minuti, facciamo questo video e poi
Ho scelto l'Università degli Studi dell'Aquila perché its educational program, research program, and social innovation program are highly intertwined with the town that is the town guest of the University of L'Aquila, the town of L'Aquila and its territory. We are undergoing in this town a very deep transformation process, and this transformation sees the University of L'Aquila as a primary actor. Our students, our professors, our administrative staff are highly involved in these transformation processes, and that's what will characterize your stay here in L'Aquila.
Quando ancora delle radio non se ne interessava a nessuno, questa università, l'Università dell'Aquila, è stata la prima a erasmizzarsi entusiasticamente.
Questo è un tavolo anatomico di dissezione virtuale che permette di studiare l'anatomia umana, è utile per i corsi di laurea di base ma anche per le specializzazioni mediche post laurea perché permette di simulare degli interventi chirurgici.
possono essere più competitivi allorché arrivano nel mondo del lavoro, in quanto hanno avuto la possibilità di toccare con mano la strumentazione.
The occupability of our students is very good, as confirmed by the data provided by the consortium of Malawi. Our graduates find a job in the traditional car market without a degree. Before joining the University of L'Aquila, I was working in Cambridge, in the UK, in a pharma company. We were working on innovative research for drugs and medicine.
Ho scelto l'Università degli Studi dell'Aquila perché
University of L'Aquila participates to all the European programs favoring the internationalization and mobility of students and staff. International master courses and the excellence master course Erasmus Mundus that we have is bringing to our university students from more than 30 nationalities.
Ho conosciuto una nuova cultura, ho conosciuto tanti amici da molti paesi del mondo.
Sono insegnanti e stipendi che seguono costantemente il tuo lavoro, la ricerca, gli studi e che ti fanno lavorare su quello che veramente ti serve per essere un futuro ingegnere, un futuro lavoratore.
I suggest all the students to come here to L'Aquila because they will have a really good experience and a really good communication with the professors and with the students. You will have a really good education, better maybe than other places.
questa esperienza mi ha cambiato la vita.
The University of L'Aquila, for those who want to look far ahead.
Must explain that L'Aquila is eagle. For this reason, there is the eagle flying. Yes. Just. Sì. Even though the name of the city comes probably from aqua, water. Yes. Questo? Sì.
Okay, so dear colleagues, we can start now with the first session. So I would like to invite Professor Tommy Ilias to say some words.
Thank you, Dr. Massimilio. I have to learn about chairperson of UI GreenMetric. I'm delighted to like you to thank Prof. Anna and team for arranging our today's agenda. The National Workshop UI GreenMetric World University Ranking for Universities in Italy, which will be done via hybrid meetings. So maybe all that participant in all over university in the country and international could also follow these activities. I would like also to express my gratitude to all the speakers today, including Dr. Marco Marsilio Abruzzo, Region Governor, and then Dr. Ruki Hawayu, expert member of UI GreenMetric, Dr. Luciana Sacchetti, APPC, Università di Bologna, Dr. Professor Elena Forti from University of Torino, and last but not least, Prof. Anna Tosi, Pro-Rectors of International Affairs. I've just read you because I cannot spell it in Italian. Università degli Studi dell'Aquila. And the last but not least, Dr. Massimiliano, Project Coordinator, Università degli Studi dell'Aquila. Am I correct, the spelling? Okay. I believe this meeting will inspire us to start working in our universities and create green and smart buildings as examples of the best learning and working environment for everyone. And I saw in the morning a lot of new construction building from the old one to be built here, and it's very nice. And I'm also confident that we will come up with new ideas or new thinking or new perspective to preserve culture and local wisdom in environmental treatment to keep our universities as role models in society and create the best impact of our communities. Ladies and gentlemen, fellow university leaders from Italian University, today our UI GreenMetric speaker will tell you about what happenings at UI GreenMetric. We are still keeping up with the new things, and I'm sure that we are energized to make many changes for our society and environment. This year we have many agendas, such as the National Workshop in Mexico, Egypt, Russia, Ecuador, Colombia, Turkey, Indonesia, and today in Italy. We also have other programs like in the International Sustainability Leaders Meeting, International Student Leaders Meeting, and World Sustainable Campus Tour. Fellow university leaders of National Workshop participants, I would also like to inform you that UI GreenMetric have done many things, such as online courses on sustainability and we are delighted to have some support from other university leaders in running them. We are continuously keeping up with new things and making sure that our annual evaluations of the pathways toward the best university that we can achieve for our university are in progress, so that we can always include in our yearly report and submit your evidence. Ladies and gentlemen, I would like also to invite you to join our international conference, the 9th International Workshop on UI GreenMetric 2023, which will be hosted by University of Minho from 15 June to 17 June 2023 in Portugal. I'm confident that you will gain a great experience and new ideas to implement from several universities. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, thank you so much, and I hope you have an enjoyable meeting today. Good luck with your work. Thank you.
Thank you very much for your presentation. Okay. We met. I mean Italian, Italian network, and we were speaking of several issues, and the main ones will be presented to you. Yeah. One of these very important topics concern the calculation of the CO2 print. That University of Bologna, together with the Cork University in Ireland, proposed and developed a different or complementary, call it as you want, methodology for the computation. Okay. And we are very happy and proud to have here two representatives of University of Bologna and Luciana, that you know very well, we all know very well, and we thank always for the big job they did to introduce this new approach to the calculation.
Okay, so we can officially start the discussion, the presentation of today after the welcome speech. I would like to thank you all. Patrizia Lombardi.
Cosa?
Patrizia Lombardi si era connessa per fare il welcome.
Ah, perfetto.
Oh, c'è online?
Sì, c'è. Prima aveva.
Ah, ecco, perfetto, buongiorno. Allora, la professoressa Lombardi, prego.
Thank you for the invitation. I will be very short, just to say that I'm very happy that Italian University, in my role of President of the Italian University Network for Sustainable Development, has agreed to be part of the discussion regarding GreenMetric in this national conference. By the way, I will be also in the international one in Minho soon, that will take place next month. Just to mention what the network university is about, is a platform for sharing good practices among the different Italian universities. At the moment we are 84, and we have increased in terms of responsibility in our mapping exercise we carry out every year. We realize that responsibility in sustainable development issues has increased enormously in our university by considering that the sustainability paradigm is included in the statutory of each university, and on strategic plans, as well as the number of green office has been triplicated since 2017. Regarding the ranking, I would say that there are few universities, Italian universities, that are confident in making this ranking as their own ranking, since it is international based, and Italian universities has got some peculiarities, like being in historical centers of cities, or in more inner areas inside our long peninsula, that is our Italian country. Sometimes we experience that there are really differences compared with other international universities. So I really hope that today national conference will be an opportunity for GreenMetric and Italian universities to realize and try to combine and to understand what are the opportunity of possible inclusion of our peculiarities. I really thank the University of Aquila to host this important conference for understanding better the issues which are involved in international ranking and compared with our Italian university. I hope that you have a very fruitful conversation, and I say hello to all friends there in attending this conference, and it will be my pleasure as well to encourage all universities to take a role and an opportunity of assessment for improving their performance in sustainable development trajectory. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you so much to Professor Lombardi for this interesting speech. We are very glad to have you in this conference, and we hope to be practical somehow today and to get some good result at the end of the discussion. I would like to give now the floor to Professor Dr. Ruki Arvariu from the Universitas Indonesia. Do you want to come here or to use your? You use your. Okay. Okay. No. Maybe to go on the.
Master.
The presentation, you should use this. I have already your presentation here. Or you have to connect to the video conference.
If you have the file.
Yes, it's here. It's here. No, ok, facciamo così che si fa più.
È andata giù la corrente d'ufficio.
Please sit on this side so you are on screen as well.
Thank you.
So here you are.
Okay. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Ruki Harwahyu. I'm expert member of UI GreenMetric for IT system and networks. And in this occasion, I would like to share about you the latest status of the data from the last year's submission in 2022, as well as some updates in this year, 2023. So in last year, these are the conditions according to the data that we got from a total of 1,000 and 50 universities, yeah, and some universities that are highlighted in the picture are some universities in Italy that included in gold cluster. If we divide the total score in 3 regions, gold, silver, and bronze, we can see that in general, 219 universities are in gold cluster, and from Italy we have 14 universities, which is almost half of the total university joining from Italy. And in silver cluster we have 16 universities from Italy, and in bronze we have 4 universities. Yeah, these are the long list universities of Italy joining in 2000 and filling the questionnaire for 2022. Where we have Università di Bologna rank 1 last year, Luis University, Politecnico di Torino, Università degli Studi di Torino, Università degli Studi dell'Aquila, and so on. Yeah, these are the results, and as you may already know, the total score are not directly from the data that you are filling in our questionnaire, but we do some verification by our expert member as well as the reviewers, independent reviewers. In 2000, during the last 3 years, yeah, from 2020 until 2022, we see the following trends. Yeah, in our 6 categories, most of the trends are showing increasing score. Yeah, however, again, as you may already know, that we are updating some of the questions every year. We may introduce 1 or 2 new questions, or we shift or we adjust the option for the answer. So it is becoming more competitive as well as following the international trends. And also we got COVID-19 pandemics in 2020 and 2021. So this data may be affected much of that situations. And according to our data in last year, if we compare the average score that is obtained by universities in Italy compared to the all 1,050 universities in the world, universities in Italy is achieving higher than the average of the world, and it is showing something positive in this term. If we see deeper in term of in the category of setting and infrastructure, we see that in most questions, in most indicators, universities in Italy already achieving pretty good compared to the average, international average, maybe except for the first question, second, and the 4th questions, yeah, and maybe the 5th question. Let us first see the 7th question, where the universities in Italy achieving quite good score, yeah, which is percentage of operation and maintenance activities of the building in 1 year period. This is during the COVID-19 period, and it is showing quite good result. Meanwhile, for the first question, the ratio of open space area to the total area of the campus, and the second question, total area on the campus covered by forest vegetation, and as well as question 4, total area on campus for water absorption beside the forest and planted vegetation, On average, universities in Italy is still lagging behind, maybe of course due to the unique condition that I observe in some evidence that universities are submitting in the questionnaire. Yeah, like here when I walk around the city in this small town, actually, yeah, we have many historical buildings that is not allowing us to achieving maybe a higher ratio of the open space because the building is already there and it is already historical building protected by the government. Yeah. Now let us continue to the second category, energy and climate change. Again, we are comparing the same thing like previously. We see that in most of the question, in most of the indicator, universities in Italy already achieve higher than average. Yeah, maybe we can also see that in EC4 or indicator number 4, total electricity usage divided by total campus population. In this question, on average, universities in Italy are still a little bit lagging behind the average of universities that are submitting their data in 2022. Yeah. And EC8, number 8, for total carbon footprint divided by total campus population. Maybe we will discuss more about this because as I heard previously, we will maybe some of you have a different idea or alternative idea in computing the total carbon footprint. In waste management, in the third category, is all good. Yeah. So yeah, I think we can. We don't have much to discuss. Yeah. In water management, in average, universities in Italy is a little bit lagging behind for question number 1. Yeah, water conservation program and implementation. Yeah. We will see again if we need to consult the guideline for these questions. And for number 5 in water category, water pollution control in the campus area, yeah, we see that we try to collect the data and again compare it to the between the universities in Italy and overall universities. Yeah, because this one is a little showing a good or promising result. Yeah, in Italy, yeah, we can see here. Most of the university answering or choosing the highest score, yeah, which is 50% already achieving or already choosing the highest options. Yeah, and we also do verify this answer by checking the evidence that are submitted to our system. Compared to the average universities in the world, most of them are still on the left side in the red area here, which is still at the early stage. Yeah. For transportation, this is also showing good result for overall average of the Italian universities, and education as well. Yeah, although here we have this similar score, but anyway, this is still on the average. Yeah, for ED5. A number of student organization related to the sustainability. Yeah, that's all for the previous year. Now we are moving to 2023. We are taking the topic of innovation, impacts, and future direction of sustainable universities. Most of the questions are still the same. Yeah, but we later we will see that some of them are changing a little bit. Yeah, in SI and in energy and climate change also most of them are still the same. And in waste management we introduce one new questions. We are asking, or we are surveying 3R programs in university waste, reduce, reuse, and recycling. And in water category is all still the same. In transportation as well. And in education, we introduced 2 new questions. The first one is we are trying to count or trying to get the figure of number of activities organized by students' organization related to the sustainability per year. Because usually, because previously we only count the number of organization. In some cases, the number of organization is maybe small, but number of students joining the organization could be high. So the impact in that case is positive. So we are trying to also count the activities, which is making real impact to the sustainability or to the society. And the second new question in this category is number of university sustainability programs with international collaborations, which is also endorsed by SDGs, for international or for collaboration in tackling the problems. And for this year, data submission process pretty much still the same, using the same website and submitting the data as well as the evidence. Maybe we have some updates in the evidence templates that you can see more details in our submission system in this page. Most of the university attending this meeting maybe already have the account. For those of you who are willing to join this year, doing self-assessment for your university, if you don't have account yet, you can contact us. We will register your university and get the account for filling this questionnaire. We expect that the announcement is similar to last year. We will announce the result in December. For that, we need to do validation 1 month at least in November. So every data submission will be expected to be completed by the end of October. Anyway, this is the website, the same as last year. And in our online questionnaire, you can choose, you can check the guideline, you can check the evidence template, upload or maybe re-upload your evidence if you have new one. And since the questionnaire are quite long, you can save halfway, and finalize everything when you are ready to submit. And for the template of the evidence, we suggest something like this, like you put your logo, your university name, etc. And then, in general, evidence is trying to replace the physical visitation. Like today, I have special opportunity to visit this place, but not every reviewers or not every expert member can visit in person for the universities. That's why I encourage everyone to submit the evidence as clear as possible to depict or to represent the real condition and to complete the story that you are writing in the text. So the reviewer can be sure that the data that you are filling in is according to real condition, and they are quite confident that this is real things. Sorry. Okay, you can print the draft answer if you wish, maybe as for your backup data or something like that, or save before your submission. And finally, if you are ready to submit, you can just click submit. And after the submission, of course, the data will be locked. You cannot change it anymore, and it will be forwarded to the reviewers. Okay. Yeah, that's all. I think you can consult you can check our website for more detailed information. I think the guideline is already uploaded. The guideline for this year, new guideline because we have some new questions. Yeah. And and also for the services, you can also check our website. Yeah. That's all from me. Thank you very much.
So thank you, Dr. Ruki. I think this will be very useful for everyone, and especially for those who are going to do the first time the application for GreenMetric. So, for example, Simone from Urbino. So we will share this presentation also with Reggio Calabria and Roma Tre, who expressed yesterday the willing to be part of the GreenMetric family. I don't know if there is any question. Yes, Luciana.
It's a great opportunity to have two experts here, because I have some questions for you. My questions is regarding the evidences. You said that last year we have 1,050 universities. The evidence are 41. So if I multiply 41 for 1,050, I obtain 43,000 evidence. Since you have 1 month to evaluate all the questionnaires, can you say us something more about how do you use the evidences?
Okay, thank you for the question. First, I would like to say that not all of the 1,050 universities are reviewed in only only 1 month because some of them already
total annual kilometer traveled by university per year. So part of our proposition is a template of a basic survey created, by the way, with Google Forms, which can be replicated almost easily in all over the world. Which is structured with the basic 9 questions to take this information about commuting with concerning all the university population, so student, faculty, and staff. Okay, so the basic reference from the point of view of international standard for these proposition are 2. The Protocol Corporate Accounting and Reporting Standard, from one way, and the ISO 14061 standard. The idea is to consider all the 3 scopes. So scope 1, concerning direct emission, basically involves the emission that comes out from installation within the university organizational boundaries. Scope 2, differently, are indirect emissions that comes from the energy consumption. And the scope 3 are other indirect emissions that are the results from product and services used by the universities. Now, to calculate the carbon footprint is essential to have emission factors. Our suggestion is that each university should use the national emission factor. Why? Because the context is fundamental. So it's very different to calculate a carbon footprint in Indonesia and in the city of Aquila. So the basic suggestion is, please use the national emission factor. In this table, there are a list of more common for Europe, for Asia, for all countries, and for Italy. When we have calculated the carbon footprint of the University of Bologna, we have mainly used the emission factor generated by ISPRA, which is an organization that deals with the environment from the technical point of view. Now, let's look to consider stationary combustion, direct fugitive emission, and mobile combustion, and liquid fuel and gas. For stationary combustion, we consider both liquid and natural gas, which the total quantity of this fuel consumed, of course, has to be multiplied for its emission factor. The direct fugitive emission are those leakage that you have when you refill air conditioning systems. And again, this amount has to be lost, charged or lost during the refilling, should be multiplied for the emission factor. And the mobile combustions is the fuel that is used to refill the university car, which are not electric, of course. So it is the gasoline that is used to refill the university, let's say, traditional cars. Scope 2. Scope 2 is indirect emissions. It's regarding the electricity that university purchased. For Italy, for my university, we have indicated 0. Why? Because if the university can demonstrate that she purchases electricity produced from 100% of certified renewable sources, let's say that the relative emission is rather very little. So you can calculate and put a zero under this specific activity. Another impact comes from the energy which is imported through a physical network, and for instance, for heating, for cooling the district of university. And in this case, you have an amount of energy which is actually consumed, and again, it is to be multiplied, the total, to the emission factor, its emission factor. Okay, this is scope 3, which, as I told you, it is dedicated only to transportation. We considered separately the emission created by the commuting of employee and by the commuting of student. In all the subset, traveling by car, by bus, by train, for both the categories. How is calculated the total annual kilometer? Well, the total annual kilometer of employee and staff is considered by day, by frequency, by round trip. And this will be more clear when I will show you in a minute the commuting survey, how it is organized and structured. When you obtain the total annual kilometer traveled, you have to again multiply for the specific emission factor for car, for bus, and for train. The last, which we have considered optional, for instance, when we have calculated our carbon footprint, we have not used these activities, are the transport generated by the transportation of waste. We can have 3 different kinds of waste: the special one, the different kind of waste, or the disposal, the treatment of plastic, cars, organic, and other undifferentiated waste. All of them, they are generated for our organizational activities. Another optional way that could be used to calculate the global carbon footprint are the paper procurement, the ICT procurement, and the water supplied. But so the services or the product that university purchased in this specific kind. But again, this being quite complicated to be calculated, we have decided to define it optional, and in our case, we have not used. Now I'll show you the calculation, the actual calculation of our universities. We have used 3 different sources of emission factor. So for gas consumption, DEFRA, for heating and cooling, ISPRA, and for the transportation, Econ-Event. These are Italian emission factor standards. Okay, this is the final results. So the carbon footprint of University of Bologna is nearly to 50,000 metric tons. We can see which are the most higher factors that impact more. For scope 1, definitely it's the stationary combustion of natural gas. For the scope 2 is the heating. The heating is the more impactful aspect that for the final calculation. And in scope 3, the most impactful are the student commuting by car and the student commuting by train. This is because we have 85,000 students. Not of them travel, but a lot of them travel. So this is why probably we have the stronger impact coming from this population. Okay, now I show you very briefly the template of the Google Forms questionnaire to calculate the total kilometers traveled. First question is to define one of the three categories the person that filled the questionnaire pertain, if he is a student or a faculty member or a staff member. The second question is about the frequency. So how many days do you travel to the university weekly? And then how many weeks on average last year have you traveled to the university per month? And again, how many months have you traveled to the university in the whole year? So the frequency, as I told you before, is divided by day, per week, per month. And then the following questions is regarding time. So how long did your travel takes one way? And then you have to calculate it both ways, in minutes. From 10 minutes to more than 1 hour. It depends on the trip that you have to do. Then the following question is about distance. One way, on average, it's less than 2 kilometers or more than 51 kilometers. And the last two questions are regarding the mode of traveling. So, which is your primary mode of travel, from walking to car, electric scooters, train, and so on. And the last question is regarding the combination. So, in the previous questions, you has answers about your primary way of transportation. Now we ask if you do a combination, let's say train and then walk, or train and then bicycle, and so on. Okay, and this is the complete proposition that we have actually sent by email to Professor Riri Fitri-Satri, and so far we have not received an answer.
When do you send it?
What?
When do you send it?
It was sent last year during just after the steering committee. So during the last conference, which was held, I don't know in Asia, but
Last conference in Zoom, Zoom meeting, isn't it?
Yeah, in Zoom, exactly. In September, in Iran. Okay. In September in Iran. Okay.
I will remind you.
Okay, thank you very much.
We can send it again.
Why not?
Yes, I would like to thank Luciana for the work in name of all the network for all the work done. So thank you very much for the work and for the presentation. Okay. I don't know if there is any comment or question from the others. Yes, of course.
Yes, thank you so much, Luciana, for this presentation. I'm not a technician or so, yes, but I would like to ask you if I show or I present this kind of way to calculate the carbon footprint in my university, and based on your experience, is because it's something that our technical office can manage in an easy way. Because, for example, I checked that for my university last year, my technical office calculate carbon footprint using European Environmental Agency modality. I will ask you if this is something that is far from your proposition, in order to have an idea relating to the time that this office have to spend to produce this data in this way. And the other question is related to the participation to the survey. If you measure the percentage of student and community university that answer to this survey. Thank you so much for this great work and suggestion to calculate.
Regarding your first question, I think it depends how many scopes does your university calculate. All the three or only two of them, it depends. And our university do not use the survey that I have shown, which is only structured in only 9 questions. We have a more elaborate survey, which is managed by the mobility manager of universities. So for GreenMetric, we used a more articulated survey for calculate the total traveled annually. But regarding the way how we have calculated the carbon footprint, we have really used this method. And in case I can put in contact your technician with our technicians. Okay.
May I ask one thing? Which percentage of respondents did you have for this questionnaire, for this survey? Among students and staff?
I think I have to send a quick message by my cellular phone to answer properly. I have to ask Roberto Battistini, who is the travel manager of, the mobility manager of university. I think it's around, I probably, if I'm not wrong, about 5,000.
That means, okay, in total.
No, in figures. In percentage, I have to ask him. But
okay,
I will ask him right now.
No, just I'm curious because our mobility manager submitted to the staff and students twice. So with some months of difference. And the first time the answers were very, very low. The second one was more successful, but still are not representing the totality, or at least a big percentage of people. Okay, thank you.
Okay, so yes, please.
An easy question. For how many years university is ranked if it stopped to fill the questionnaire?
I forgot. Let me check.
2 years?
I think it was 3 years.
3 years?
3 years if they don't officially said stop.
Okay.
Yeah. But if they are not submitting any new data, and then we continually use previous years until 3 times, that's all.
3 times?
3 times.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. But maybe we will reconsider this due to the pandemic situation. Because if last time they filled the questionnaire is during pandemic, and now it is post-pandemic situation, maybe, yeah, our expert member will discuss about that. Yeah. But as I remember, currently still the decision is still to use it until 3 times.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, so we can now have a break. We are a little bit late, so let's try to be quite quick on coming back maybe at 11:30, if it's okay for everyone. Okay, so also for those who are online, we will have this meeting until 11:30. This break, sorry.
È difficile capire la situazione, nel senso di appartenenza all'istituzione. Stavamo ricostruendo per pezzi, ma non la Covid, che ha di nuovo quindi però questa attività di centricanza, perché chi vive in posti vicini non è che ti sia qui. Adesso forse sta cominciando a uscire le case sistemate sono tante prezzi meno eccessivamente alti. Questo è un periodo che stavo poi non sono stato scientificamente, non abbiamo dato, vedete cosa mi disse? Ci spostiamo forse, ma poi sicuramente facciamo la allora, mi telefono, stavo al supermercato, mi telefono 2 settimane dopo, e mi disse, ma voi cosa ti faccio con questa supermercato? Quindi sono analizzati già per iniziare. Quindi la risposta è questa, ma per questo poveri, dico che non ci piace vedere questi titoli, no, non è che mi piace. Che per cui non va tanto questa cosa del zero, no? È quella che è però così solo perché chi ho detto quelle cose in ogni caso non farsi questo. No, dice otherwise an energy source is emission factor and emission factor.
una proposta tecnica sul 100% si dice allora non è tanto d'accordo su questo, invece ma questo ti fa un po' troppo scomodo, va bene? No, se non dice, non è se non è quello bisogna fare. Vabbè, poi secondo me si tratta di non sezione, se ci eccetera, ma noi dobbiamo usare la cosa di scratch, quindi si è riferimento al GPHC, anzi, lo scriviamo, sentiamo.
Okay, so we can restart with the second session. So I give the floor to Professor Anna Tozzi.
Okay. So this part of the last part of our meeting is something that we will ask to our expert from GreenMetric. Because we were focusing on water, waste and transportation, because Italian universities generally are located in the city centers or in the cities. So some questions about shuttle, about water. Universities are, like all the citizens, customer of public services for water, for transportation, for waste. And so we have to answer to the questions provided by the questioner in a different way, because we are not independent. We have not much power in the final recycling of water, for instance, or waste. Only something we can do. And so this is the focus of today. And Elena, thank you very much. We speak about transportation and whatever, what else? Everything. You can speak of everything.
Okay. Okay, hello, I'm Elena Forti from the University of Turin. I'm a ranking manager, so I'm not a professor. I'm not specialized on sustainability, but I participate and collect data for GreenMetric for almost 10 years now, a bit less. And so we wanted to show you the peculiarity of many Italian universities, which are set in urban setting or in the city center, because as Professor Anna Tozzi was saying, this kind of a university rely on the services offered by the municipality to all residents, especially for mobility, for waste management, and for water management. And the GreenMetric questionnaires, the answer we give depends not on the university's policies, but on the city's provision and sustainability of these services. And we think that this does not reflect exactly what the goal of GreenMetric should be. And this morning you showed how we are over the average for exactly this kind of indicators, while we are below average maybe for forest vegetation, because we are urban university, mainly urban universities. Also here in L'Aquila, which is a small town, for transportation, for waste and water, they depend on what the town decides to do. In general, the service companies of the municipality have sustainable policies, even because they are required by law. And so they have advanced means for treatment of waste and water, for quality control, because they must ensure health, safety, and environment protection. There are laws for this. And so we think that GreenMetric should adapt a bit in the options it provides and in the score in a way that the items in the categories of transportation, waste and water can focus more on what is under the responsibility of the university, which is a lot, even if these services are provided by the city, because they can improve the agreements, the deals they make with these service companies, because universities have, the community of the university have a lot of students, a lot of staff, and so they are important for the city. And and in a way, the items of GreenMetric can find a way to show how year after year the university initiatives grow in their engagement, and so it can be important for the improvement of the sustainable performance of universities. And having these things inside GreenMetric can allow university to compare with what the other university do, and it's about regarding also the sharing of at least some evidence to share the good practices, to know about them. And specifically, in the category waste, we have focused on 3 items, which is the treatment of organic waste, inorganic waste, and sewage disposal. Because the waste and the sewage are collected by the city service company, and then they are delivered to authorized waste treatment plants. And almost in every university, in every city, the treatment of organic waste and also of the inorganic sorted waste is extensive. This is why we are above average on these scores. For inorganic waste treatment, we have to distinguish, because inorganic waste is there is a sorted part of organic waste, plastic, metals, textiles, everything, which is treated and processed for recycling. But there is also an undifferentiated waste, not sorted, and the treatment of this part of waste can be different, not always is so processed. But the answer Italian university gave usually consider only the inorganic sorted waste, and so it is easy in a way to get the maximum score here. But some university consider also the rest of the inorganic waste, and there the treatment usually is not extensive, because the city is not at that point. And I think that giving a score, a quite high score, because it's 300 points, to these policies that do not depend on the university, on what the university does, but on what the city, maybe it's too easy, in a way, but also it doesn't show what the university do, and also to provide sorted waste to the city. The university do many things. Usually you see them in the other items in 3.1 and 3.2, so in our evidence, usually we refer to the city, to what the city does, and we put the link to the city company that manages those things. But we try to say in our campus we collected the sorted waste in this way to have more sorted waste. So we do some things, and so here the idea, the proposal, is to try to focus more on what, not only on what the university does, because there are the other indicators that ask about that, but maybe on the extension of these actions by the university. So with a detailed evidence like that for for smart buildings, for example, saying that in each campus and in each university building, we have 50% covered with plastic bins or glass bins and so on. Because year after year, we try to extend more, to have more sites covered, or to usually have plastic and paper everywhere, but glass maybe not, and so on. So this could be a way to focus more also for this kind of universities, which are not only in Italy, but in Europe. It's quite the usual things. And regarding the last item of the category waste, the sewage disposal, well, first of all, it is a liquid waste, and so we think that maybe it seems more logical to us that this should stay in the category water rather than in category waste. But this is just an idea, and here the problem is that the water company, the local water company, usually has purification plants very advanced, but there are the last options here are treated for downcycling or treated for upcycling. Now, the definition of what is downcycling and how it is different from upcycling is not that clear on your guidelines, but we reading on the city's reports on this, because it's not something that university usually does. We have seen that it's a very small fraction of all the city sewage that is processed for upcycling. For example, in Turin, my city, it's 1% is treated for upcycling. All the rest is treated for downcycling. Now, we have looked at our answers from Italian universities placed in cities like Turin, like Milan, like Rome, where there are more than one universities, and they all refer to the same companies. But some answer it's upcycling, others say it's downcycling, because it depends where you put the focus on. But you get a different score, and so maybe this too should be clarified, maybe. And so here we invite you to reconsider the fact that these practices are not under the direct control of the university, and so maybe these scores are even too high for this, or try to focus more on what the university could do to do that. But just an idea. There are just some suggestions here to keep in mind the peculiarity of European city universities. And regarding the category water, here we focus on two items: the consumption of treated water, which is typically from the city aqueduct, supplier of water, so it's all treated water. But we understand that in other parts of the world this could be an important point, element. And the water pollution, the new item last year, the water pollution control in campus area Here too, we generally have given the maximum answer, the option 5, because there are the pollution control is done by the city water supplier, but also the university usually does some checks, usually with the departments, scientific departments, chemical departments, biology departments, engineering departments, and so on. So, and we have room here to tell about what we do, but maybe you could merge in a way some items and try to for example here too to say the number of initiatives the university does here, because here you only say if there are problems, but you can say for example, one can have a department analyzing the water for the city, and so this is an initiative, or can do some research that advance the community for the pollution control. So this is just another proposal to change these things. And then the real issue about the transportation. You have seen that not only in cities, but also in a small town like L'Aquila, transportation is usually not provided by the university, but by other parties. And right now, the questionnaire has some answers, some options, consider only if it is by the university, and others by the university or by other parties. We think that it should be more reflective of what the situation is. If it is indifferent, if it is by university or by other parties, but to focus more on how the service is and how much the university contributes to the cost. So this is, we think that it should be maybe useful to stress more the service provided. The service and the cost of the service provided, instead of by whom it is provided. And this is similar also for the zero emission vehicles policy, because here too it seems that it is important only if it is considered, only if it is provided by the university. But in the big cities, at least, usually there are private companies in the city that provide this sharing or rental of these kind of vehicles, and but the university can still do many policies to make agreements, cover part of the costs, and so maybe it should be more useful to focus on that. And also, if you compare these two items, the not applicable option is gives you the maximum score for the shuttle service, but the minimum score for zero emission vehicles. Now, there is a reason for this, because it's something different, but maybe try to think again about this, because it's the not applicable like this is a sort of on-off choice. Or you have it or you're not. And you cannot see the progress in the mobility policies that the university can carry out. And so maybe try to think again about this kind of items of the questionnaire to enhance more the progress, the improvement made by sustainable policies carried out by the university. And that's all.
Thank you very much, Elena. I don't know if there is any comment or question. Yes, please.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you, Dr. Eliana, for very deep analysis, I think, regarding almost all of the category in our questionnaire. I would like to give some comment, maybe generally speaking. First is about the extension of every questions in our questionnaire. Some of the parts that you are showing to us previously, we already kind of considering more detailed way to measure. Yeah, but it is still trade-off, especially for universities in developing countries where they are not in a very good environment, and not, for example, the city is not providing such kind of service for themselves. In that kind of situation, we are trying to make a balance between the effort and the impact. Yeah, in the previous example that you showed to us for water and waste, I agree that most of the universities in Italy can achieve high score in that category because we are considering the impact. In that way, universities in Indonesia, because Indonesia is very wide area, there are big cities and there are some small villages which is not very developed in that kind of technology or facility. That question is actually try to measure their efforts, because they have to make by themselves. They have to make the sewage system, blah blah blah, and waste management or recycling facilities for themselves, and that is what can we say? Nasib tuh, nasib tuh, yuk nasib bahasa Inggrisnya apa? Fate, yeah, fate. Because you are in that city, yes, that's you have to do to make good impact to the environment. Meanwhile, universities in developed cities already have that facilities. Still, we are checking whether the university is complying to the city's regulation, like maybe providing different trash bins to make it easier for the worker to separate the waste. It is also the effort, but of course it is considered to the Indonesian university that is making the whole system by themselves. It is considerably small, but the impact is the same. Yeah, so both of this kind of situation can choose the right options with maximum score. And of course also thank you again for pointing out about the transportation, TR2 and TR3. Yeah, in TR2, if your campus is not providing a shuttle bus because it is not necessary anymore, like in this city already have basis from the government, from the city. It is not necessary. You can achieve higher score. Meanwhile, in TR3, it is only option 2. We are aware of that, but this is again the balance between appreciation and necessity. In some cases, maybe it is yes, it is not necessary to provide, but we are trying to encourage, in fact, universities in the world, to make this good effort. So we keep that question to appreciate those who are in TR3 about the electric vehicle. So that is in general my comment. And about the upcycling and also downcycling, I'm sure we already have the discussion, but when I search in the guideline, it is not there yet. I think we will revise the discussion. We already find the definition. As I remember, the upcycling is when the product having less impact to the environment. I'm not the expert of this, but let me think about the example. Sorry, I cannot come with any example, but upcycling is when the product, when it is tossed away in the environment or maybe becoming the trash, it has less impact to the environment. I think that's all my general comment, because you have a lot of deep analysis on that, and thank you.
Vuole dire qualcosa lei su questo?
Ok. Elena was describing exactly what I think all the Italian universities, but I think all European universities face when they are trying to answer to the questions, because the European universities are mainly located in the cities, and they are customer as any citizen of the services provided by the municipality through agency, etc. So the questions, how much do you recycle water, how much is reused, does not depend on our structures. We are fully responsible only of the toxic and dangerous waste produced by the laboratory. But also for this, our responsibility is on selecting a good, accredited company for the not recycling, for the disposal of this toxic. And in universities like MAI, but Bologna and others, where there is a faculty of medicine, there are also very serious, toxic, dangerous, organic also products from the laboratories. Also materials which are nuclear, So for this we are responsible, but of course our responsibility is in selecting the right service provider. And this I think all the universities, also by law, must do. It's not something that can be optional. We have to do. And certainly we can make some educational activities for students, staff, in order to reduce the waste of water, but also to reduce the waste in general, the amount of waste. And I think that all the universities were providing the bottles to avoid the plastic, providing also fresh water through fountains or the dispenser, etc. So this is what we can do. About the transportation is even more complicated because the main buildings of the universities are in the center, but then when the university is increasing the activities, developed some satellite campus. Then the problem is mobility between the campuses, for which, unless someone is rich enough, university cannot provide a very complete transportation between the campuses. What we can do, and in L'Aquila we are doing, is making each campus autonomous, in the sense that Mensa, services, secretaries, offices concerning that campus are all there. So the problem is only to reach from the commuting from house to the campus. Very rare mobility between campuses can be provided by car, by themselves, or some university car. So this is what we can do at organizational level. And the commuting and the home campus mobility is provided for the main part of university population from municipal companies. And as Elena was saying, we can have some agreement, certainly agreement for the times, so the number of mobility, of decide at which time it's needed to have more buses ready for that. But we cannot say the municipality, you have to buy electrical buses. This is another economy, another administration. So this is what, at least for when I was answering to the questions the first time, I found these questions very difficult for me to answer, and Elena was very clear in this. Okay, so if there are some other comments, in theory we should have the speech of Piero Di Carlo.
Yes, Professor Piero Di Carlo was... Okay, maybe...
Second substitution of Piero Di Carlo because he had some problems, unexpected problem, and so I...
Okay, perfect, no problem at all.
Okay, I will share our presentation.
I think you can share.
Okay, I try. Can you see? Do you see our presentation?
Yes. Don't know why. Okay.
Yes.
Okay, please.
Okay, thank you. So this presentation was prepared by Professor Piero Di Carlo, and I shortly illustrated the components. And I agree with the previous speaker because we had the same problem that was described by the University of L'Aquila and the University of Torino. It was also for us some of the disposal treatment on the West was made by plants and the public services outdoor, outside the university. And we have We are participating to GreenMetric from 4 years, and we have increased our score because there was a better knowledge and understanding of the question, and so there was a better capacity to answer to the questions. Going to the focus on West, we have made some evidences about the possibility that our university has in the logic that there are other services outside the university that complete the cycle of the treatment. We have made some initiatives about the reduction of paper and plastic in campus, both on the administrative side and also by suggesting to students and other people that live in the university about the correct use of paper and plastic. We have made some agreement with societies that made the treatment of the pruning, because we have a large part of green areas, and we have made a selection of a society that is able to treat this organic part of our waste. We have diffused the use of dustbin in all the parts of the university, but to have a differentiation of the dust, but we don't have the possibility to treat the separated dust, the organic waste part. With respect to the toxic waste handling, we have made some courses to personnel and technicians that need to be trained about the disposal and storing and handling of these hazardous wastes, but we don't have the possibility to realize the final treatment of this kind of waste. But we have made all and we have put in the evidence document all the way that we use to prepare these hazardous waste to be treated, the final treatment outside the university. Also, with reference to wastewater disposal, we have only the possibility to send our sewage to external plants that are realized and used by external parts of the university. With reference to water, we have the ability to store the water, both potable and recycled water, in reservoir tanks for every building of the whole university. We have 2 campuses, one in Studi and one in Pescara, and all the buildings are equipped with this reservoir tank. For us, in the evidence documents, the water recycling program was also by using the treated water of the Pescara River to use this related to the green areas of the campus. And also about the water, we have focused on the preliminary treatment that we need of the water that is used in medical application, because all the water used in medical application is previously treated and then sent to disposal. With reference to the transportation, we have the same problem that was previously underlined, because we have only the possibility to realize agreement with the the service of transportation. We have only reported the small possibilities that are available in the area of the university and inside the campus. So we have the possibility to use electric bicycles or normal bicycle, because we have the possibility to have a flat orography in Pescara, so it's simple to use this kind of system. We have made some application for the charge of electric vehicles. We have buy some electric vehicles, but is a small fraction of the overall disponibility. And we have also realized some questionnaire about the mobility to realize further agreement with the public services, but the idea is the same that was previously underlined, that we have not so much instruments to obtain a very, very high score, because we can only realize some initiatives inside the campus. It's very difficult to realize the full cycle of the treatment. Is all for us.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I don't know if you have any question or comment.
In one of the pictures that you have shown, there are bicycles, and there was a logo. I don't understand if they are bicycles earned by university or by the municipality of Chieti Pescara.
No, by the university. Yes, we have bought a lot of bicycle for the campus of Pescara. Not Chieti, that is not so simple to go with the bicycle in Chieti, but for Pescara, that is a flat base, is very simple. So we have bought a lot of bicycle for students and teacher and also administratives.
During the coffee break 15 minutes ago, me and a colleague were discussing what happens from the point of view of assurance if a student that is using a bicycle earned by a university has an accident or fall. What happens? Do you know what happens from the assurance point of view?
I don't have the answer to this question, because I know which kind of insurance was made, but I can request this question and then answer to you. I'm sorry, but I'm not responsible about this part, and I don't know this kind of answer.
This is a very important issue.
Yes, sure.
Okay.
Excuse me?
Yes, please.
Yeah, just adding a small answer for that question. Not answer, maybe just sharing. In my university, now I am not as GreenMetric officer, but as university teacher. In my university, originally we have our own bicycle, and at that time, as I remember, there is no policy or something regulation about the safety. And later on, one company tried to approach us to provide the bicycle service, and in that kind of service, the term and condition is saying that the safety is according to the obligation of the one who take the bicycle itself. Yeah, no insurance basically.
For us, I think that our insurance, for staff, the insurance covers the commuting of staff. I don't know exactly for the students. I have to check. Conclusion?
Yeah, okay. So now we have concluded all the presentation for this morning. I don't know if there is any other
questions,
issues, or question that we would like to discuss. I would like also to ask to all the participants who are connected via WebEx if there is any comment, any question for our speakers.
Personally, I was happy that you participate here. I participated to other meetings and with the representative from GreenMetric, but in this case, I think we could have a good dialogue, and you gave us some information. It was possible to ask directly some questions, so I'm quite happy with this. And also, I think that from our representative, Professor Anna Tozzi, there are some inputs that could be brought to the table of the Executive Committee next month in Portugal. Maybe this is part of your conclusion, so I don't want you to take
problem.
your...
No problem. We are joined. We are joined.
Yeah, I mean, for me, the two things that have struck me most are the proposal to share the evidences of the top 10 university in the rankings, to make it available for all the university participants in the ranking through your platform. And the other was the proposition of Elena trying to, if it's possible, to a little bit modify some items to the context, not only of the Italian university, but I rather say to Western Europe, Western university, let's say, mostly. And regarding our proposition, we will send it again to the committee, even though talking to the experts during the coffee times, they told me that they have discussed internally the proposition, and so far they prefer to concentrate on, let's say, Scopus 1 and 2 and not consider transportation, or at least to consider transportation only within the university boundaries, which is of course easier if you have a campus. If you don't have a campus, it's a little bit more complicated to define university boundaries. For instance, in my case, we are spread in 5 different cities. From Bologna to Rimini is 100 kilometers, and it is still university boundaries. Yes. But anyway, we can send it another time, okay, and see what people. And also the point of view of the RUS, the University for Sustainability, they also have elaborated a method to calculate the carbon footprint, which is a little bit updated. In my presentation, I said that one of the reference is ISO 14061. They are using the same, but with the more recent edition of this issue. And there is some discussion about the fact that to put a 0 for the electricity consumed if it comes to 100% sources. sustainable sources.
Sustainable.
Maybe we could also, if the people from the Rus agree to also send to GreenMetric their method, and then we can have two ideas.
Visions.
Exactly, two visions to the same problem.
Thank you very much, Luciano. Just some comment from my side. So today, thanks to our guests, we could, in this meeting, we could have an Italian vision of GreenMetric. We exchange a lot of opinions, problems, solutions, and at the same time, we have had the opportunity to speak directly to people who will manage the questionnaires. So we are very happy for this. In this change of coordination, I think that just I'm explaining what will be our task in the future. Certainly we will proceed in the line very well established by Bologna University, but right now, soon after this meeting, we will ask the participant, not only present, to provide reflection on what we were speaking in these two days. In two sides. From the Italian side, what we want to share as Italian network, and what this network will ask to the GreenMetric staff in order to go to Braga with clear ideas of what we should ask to them for the future evaluation. And also, I have a question from you. Do you know if other countries, this was a question from Luciana, I think, or from, if other countries have this kind of network cooperating, sharing experience like Italian network?
I think it's possible.
Possible. Because in Braga maybe we will meet, if possible, it could be nice to have also exchange between different networks at country level. Okay, so if we, in Braga maybe we can meet and probably in Spain, I don't know, in other countries, not necessarily only Europe, just to share experience, maybe have also new ideas for.
Maybe we can start with the university already needed about the information from us, and they can directly contact our person in charge.
Okay.
And then you can start from them. From that, it's a small thing first, and then if maybe some other university around the world want to be,
I know you have a national country coordinator, but I don't know if you have a national network.
People who cannot listen from.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I think it's possible. Yeah. Because we have, the personal in charge in our institution, and we can start. I think if the university around the world, let's say in Italy or somewhere else, and then they can have a special issues or special maybe suggestion to us, and then we can start from that. Yeah. Mm-hmm. If many, maybe we can put some institution or something like that, because in our GreenMetric institution, we have also a network around the universities, something like local coordination. They have the organization like that. No. But if maybe something like this can be enlarged as well in the future, why not? I think. Yeah.
It could be also a way to invite more universities to participate.
Yeah, to participate. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, I think that
I also have a question.
Oh, good.
A last question. I was wondering if it's possible to show somehow, because in the ranking, the list of the universities, I mean the position sometimes is different even if they have the same score, and that it depends only on the alphabetic order. So if it's possible to show if the score is the same, is to have the same position.
Okay, sometimes the score is similar, okay? Total score is similar. But of course we start from the first indicators. I mean the priority is the first indicator, the second one, and the third one, and the fourth one, and the fifth one. If the scores is similar, both, and then we look at the first indicator, which one is higher? Yeah, first indicator. First, of course, first, second, third.
Bukan urut 1, 2, 3, Prof, tapi yang terbesar dulu.
Oh, the energy and consumption first, yeah, energy first, and then the second one, and the fourth one, and some other. So we have still can rank it.
Rispetto a quello farà la graduatoria.
Okay, sorry, not the first, but the highest, the highest score. Yeah. So the highest score is, I mean, if one university is higher than that, the second one, so the highest score in the university could the first one.
Thank you.
Yeah, because there are several to happen.
Okay.
I would like just to stress that in these 2 days we had the participation in presence and online of around 35 people, and we are representing 24 universities in Italy, so it's a good percentage of participation. We are, as you know, 34 already listed in GreenMetric. Of them, we are 21, because 3 are new universities who are going to join the network, so to join in GreenMetric this year. And so I would like also to thank all the participants for their presence, both here. We had many problems in organizing these events in 2 days, and also the weather is not helping these 2 days, but at least with the connection we managed to reach a good percentage of universities in the network, and this is really a good result for us, so for the first time, and we hope to do better in the future. Okay, so thank you everyone.
Thank you. Thank you very much. This is only arrivederci. You know what it means? This is the first meeting in presence after all the disasters we had recently, and really I hope that we will meet again in more numerous, with more people, but this, I think it was a good experiment, and I'm sure that Italian university will be better and better and better in the future.
How many universities are in Italy altogether?
About 90. Universities. If you add also Academy of Art, Conservatory, so then there are, I think, 100 for one. Yes. Okay. Thank you. Now we have lunch. We should sign something or not?
It's okay.
No, they will. For the new universities, there is the possibility to sign, but they were not ready. So Sabrina told me I will send the papers to the universities, and they will. Okay.